I've always liked Peyton Manning. To me, Peyton Manning is the most. He's the coolest. He's the coolest quarterback in the league as far as. Every time he gets interviewed, Peyton Manning does not seem to... it's kind of him and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers and them both are kind of like, yeah, dude, I'll cut up with you. I'm not just going to give you the total, they're not Tom Brady. They're not, these guys that just give, they don't kind of... They have personality. Yeah. I guess I'll put it that way. Personality that they're not...
He certainly does.
That they're not afraid to... put out there.
Okay.
I still say Peyton Manning has one of the funniest SNL skits that the United Way parody thing where he's just drilling kids with footballs and stuff. That's Peyton Manning is just a funny guy. Yeah. And I think it's so I've always liked Peyton Manning. And he's never come off as just an asshole or anything. He always seems to be just a good dude.
Know of.
Yeah. I mean, but hey, you would think you hear something. I've never heard anything bad about Peyton Manning.
I could talk about some bad stuff.
Okay, go for it.
Well, I mean, he had that whole sexual assault allegation when he was going to Tennessee.
Oh, see, I never heard of that.
He was there's basically a trainer there working, and this is a woman, and I guess he was kind of flirting with her or trying to kind of push her about certain things. I don't know what else all that means. And she's I think she was on the floor or something, and she kind of turns up, and as she turns up, Peyton Manning has got his pants down, and his ass and balls are in her face, and he's just trying to rub it all up on her.
That's normal, right?
Oh yeah, that's totally normal, and that's actually what.
What?
I'll go into that.
I never heard it. Okay.
She sues the University of Tennessee, and they have a settlement, and it's You know how it works in settlements. We've talked about this before. You don't get to hear certain things, and
sure.
And maybe one party's not supposed to say anything. Well, then Peyton Manning and his dad write a book in 2002, and he basically just she should have known it was all in fun, fair play, and who cares? Who gives a shit what she said? And so she basically and he does this another time. She gets to sue him 2 more times. He's just shelling out money at her.
Oh, I've never even heard of this.
And then you got this the whole HGH thing.
Which that's
let's talk about that for a minute, because you're kind of whatever. That's
well, I'll say this. I haven't heard hardly shit about it since the initial oh my god, listen to this, and then once people started looking into it and picking at it, it was kind of
because why the guy they got on tape. Al Jazeera, which that was the first problem. Everyone goes, oh, Al Jazeera, isn't that just a bunch of Muslims? 9/11, oh my God. They just don't even want to hear Al Jazeera to have anything to do with this.
Well, whenever you are a newspaper
I totally understand.
Printed
propaganda
when you've got
a guy on tape saying, hey, I've got this, that, and the other for all sorts of certain players in the league, and I deal drugs to them, and we used this certain drug because it's totally undetectable, and blah, 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 and he basically spills his guts on video, and you've got it. I don't really care a fuck who got it. And then this is what happens with this guy. They get this guy on tape saying this stuff.
Okay.
Which, we'll debate. You can debate, the whole thing with Peyton Manning. He wasn't even playing when that happened, or the accusations about that happened.
He was on the mend or whatever, right?
Yeah, he was on the mend. I don't know if he was even on a team.
Yeah.
He might have been already about to not be on a team.
Yeah.
And plus, look at, what players do to get healthy. Kobe goes to Germany and lives in a chamber where they sacrifice virgins outside of it and pour the blood into. Yeah, I don't know. They can do all sorts of things to get better, but actually taking the easy term is steroids or something during the season. That's always bad.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of disparity. But what this guy was saying was it's not just possibly Peyton Manning. It's all sorts of people in the league, and all of them were on teams. And weren't trying to get better and things like that. They get this guy on video of making these allegations.
Yep.
And I think they try to go to comment, go to Peyton Manning for comment, hey, we're gonna make these allegations stuff. Al Jazeera. Peyton Manning has his own personal investigators. This is before it all comes out. Has his own personal investigators, and they go to this guy's house, his parents' house, I guess. And they're freaked out enough that they call the cops. The cops get there, and the cops are and the parents are by then oh, no, everything's fine. It's all okay. No, there's actually no problem. And then they, I guess, like, his son wasn't there. This guy that gets caught, I think his name's Chris Sly. I might be getting his name wrong.
Perfect name.
Chris Sly or Craig's. I know, great. Basically, like, the next day, like, it all comes out, and they're there, and they've got his dad's iPhone taking a video and going, yeah, I never said any of those things, and I was just trying to impress some people, and I recant all this, and totally didn't say it, and then nothing ever comes out of it, and then it's just, that's it. And all the accusations about, it's just Al Jazeera, and who gives a shit.
Hold on. Conspiracy alert.
Conspiracy alert, yeah.
Hold on.
Dude. I'm just saying, Peyton Manning's kind of fucking ruthless when he needs to be. He's got Ari Fleischer hired as a like consultant to like help with all the PR of this shit.
Well,
do you know who Ari Fleischer is? I mean, he's like, I mean, like what?
But hold on.
I don't. He's done something nefarious. I just want to say that he's just not the like, oh gee golly guys, I just have some Papa John's and but people buy that shit, dude.
No, that's fair. I just think as far as his public persona, Peyton Manning's a likable guy. However, back to this Al Jazeera thing. Totally. I mean, is that to say that like what Peyton Manning like had this dude intimidated?
A shakedown?
Was he like, dude, the 5-head will get you? Yeah. Like, if you don't shut up and like,
some might say that. Is all I'm saying.
Okay.
But and then you got into the whole thing like, well,
I heard Peyton Manning said they were going to fight these out. Like they were going to fight some stuff in court. Like he was like, Peyton Manning was like, we're going to fight this in court.
Well, yeah. Wouldn't you say that?
Well, I mean,
I would.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, I would say it.
It's just like some of these stories I've said, like, that's a great when you say it. Do you actually do it though?
Well, I guess we'll see, but
still waiting. Yeah. Oh, he's retired. Oh, nobody cares anymore. Oh, and that's what kind of plays me into like some of these announcers that announce the game. They're just like, oh well, it's just a non-story, and who cares to talk about it? Because I just judged for everybody, like, oh, it's just not worth looking at. So, anyway, God, Peyton Manning's so great. He's just out there, and, this is the best he's ever felt. I talked to him the other day, and, like, he's just loving it. And he hopes to ride out into the sunset with another Super Bowl win. Come on. I mean,
tell me how you really feel.
Well, it's just like, it's bullshit, dude.
You want to put on some Raiders gear right now, maybe? Like,
I'm just... This is just... don't even get me started.